Shout to Camel, man.
Shout to Camel. I'm here with a
Turkish
very special
Silvers.
guest.
Turkish Silvers.
There you go. I don't smoke personally, but if you do, Illmind says.
Turkish Silver.
And that
Camel
brought us to the next subject. You are
Illmind, producer, Jersey, all day, Red Bull. Let's go.
Absolutely. A lot of you may know Illmind from his work with Redman. You have a current project coming up with a guy named Skyzoo.
Skyzoo, yeah, this incredible MC from New York, Brooklyn, named Skyzoo. We're doing an album called Live from the Tape Deck, coming out on Duck Down in October, and we're making it happen, man. We're getting it in, man.
Duck Down, shouts to Team Facelift, who I went to college
with. Shout to Drew Ha, Buckshot, all those guys.
Well, so I first heard about Skyzoo when he lost a battle
to Jin
on 106 in Park.
Right.
But what should people know about Skyzoo now?
Man, Skyzoo is one of those guys who just really embodies lyricism.
Okay.
You know, he's when I got into the studio with him, he's really all about cadence, lyricism, concepts. You know, for anyone out there who's listened to The Salvation, his last album that came out, you know, it's really a personal record, and he's just one of those artists that really just puts that energy and that passion into his music. You know, he's not out there talking about, you know, girls, talking about money. He's talking about some real shit, and that's what's missing in the game, and I think that's what his niche is, and that's what I love about Skyzoo. You know what I'm saying? Is the honesty in the music.
Well, speaking of passion, you've been doing an event, Black. I don't know for how long. How long has it been?
We've been doing it since November of 2009, so
I've definitely been getting invites for it. So
yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, so it's been about 7 or 8 months.
Okay.
We've been doing the event, and you know, I woke up one day. You know, I had an idea about doing an event for producers, you know, and just, you know, regardless of whatever credits I have as a producer, I'm always going to be one of those producers who is up and coming and is always striving for more. So that's kind of my motto with the event, and I wanted to...
The modesty on display.
Yeah, you know,
modesty.
But honestly, I wanted to create an outlet for producers to kind of come together and share that kind of experience, you know, doing a showcase, playing their music for people, man. You know, being a producer, it's hard to get your shit heard. You know what I'm saying? You make your music, and then you hope and you wish to get placements with, you know, major producer or major artists and underground artists, and that's your way of getting out there to the general public. But doing this event, this is an outlet for us to kind of showcase our music directly for the people, and it's been great so far.
What have been some of the biggest highlights of Black?
One of the highlights was me puking in the corner. No, I'm not kidding.
Red Bull, Camel, thank you.
Red Bull, you know, too many Red Bulls, man. You know, but you know, just we've had a few producers. We did a celebrity Blap event at PNC Radio in Brooklyn. We had Amadeus from Bad Boy, who is also the tour drummer for Trey Songz. We had Static Selector, who is, you know, y'all know who Static is. We had Digga, who produced Many Men for 50, a lot of OG Locks shit, and he's also writing a book right now. And Maestro, who's down with, you know, the Locks and Ja Rule and all those guys, Ashanti. So we've had some cats come through. Marco Polo, another Duck Down producer, who's got down with us. So it's a growing movement. You know, our plan is to really take this thing nationwide and then eventually worldwide.
Well, that's what I actually wanted to ask you is, where do you see Blap sort of as an event, sort of as a producer showcase going? What is sort of the 1 year, 5 year, 10-year plan?
Well, the one year plan is to stay at this venue and maintain our movement here, but then really within the next year we want to take it nationwide. So we want to bring it to places like San Francisco and Portland and, you know, LA, Miami, and Chicago. So we're already in talks with some of the major cities in the US to bring our event over there, and we're definitely going to be expanding our sponsorships as well. So it's looking good, man, and you know, eventually we're gonna take this thing to fucking Japan and, you know, Germany and Australia. Hopefully, you know, that's the goal. So we'll see how it goes.
That's dope. Well, as a producer, when you're making a beat for a certain artist, how much of the style of that artist goes into the thought process for what you're making as a beat? How much of the stuff are you making is geared towards that artist, or how much of it is just, I'm making a beat, if they can rhyme on this, great, if not, whatever?
You know what, it goes halfway. It really depends on who I'm working with. I'm the type of producer that kind of gets in the mode of things. So right now I'm working with Skyzoo, and right now I'm in Skyzoo mode. So you know, 90% of the music I'm doing right now is with him in mind. So you know, it's just kind of embodying that energy that he brings, and then kind of doing that when I'm in the studio, man. When I'm in there in front of my keyboard and I'm thinking of melodies and thinking of, you know, vibes to go off of. I have that album and I have that sound in mind. You know, and then when you go back to 06 and 07 when I got down with Sha Money and G Unit, you know, I was kind of in that mode. So I was doing stuff that I know, you know, a 50 Cent would kill.
Okay.
Or a Lloyd Banks.
A lot of those Def Jam artists.
Right, and a lot of Def Jam stuff. So it's all relative, man. Like it's really all. What I try to do for myself is try not to force the music and try to really just put myself into that energy, you know. If I'm doing pop records, I listen to it.
Yeah, Justin Timberlake. Can we actually talk about that? Can you tell?
Yeah. Well, it all started from an artist named Jared Evan. Shout out to Jared Evan, super duper talented artist from Long Island who just got signed to Polo de Don, Interscope. And I've been working with Jared really closely, man, and that's kind of expanded my network to you know, the Interscope circle. And you know, I've had the pleasure of meeting Polo de Don and Pharrell and all those guys when I was out in LA. And it's amazing, man. You know, these guys are just normal dudes, you know, and you know, I've had the pleasure of sharing my music with them and kind of vibing with them, and that's where it's at right now, man. And it's opened up a lot of opportunities for me. As far as pop goes, you know, and people hate on pop music, but it's music that's popular for a reason.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's pop. There's millions of people out there that love this type of music for a reason.
Well, so what happened with the sort of Justin Timberlake rumor? Because there were definitely some rumors that you were making.
Right. Well. I don't want to talk too much on it because it's kind of
is there
crazy
a
thing.
Project in process?
There's something going on with him.
Okay.
Yeah, I will say that. But there was an instance where I did a track for Jared that leaked on the internet, and people were saying that it was a Justin Timberlake song, but they kind of cleared it up. You know, they got their camps together and their PR teams together, and they sort of cleared it up. But I told Jared that it was actually a good thing because
absolutely,
you know, if people hear the joint and they think it's Jared, they think it's Justin, and they're like, yo, this is awesome, and you know, the feedback's been really great. It's got, you know, more than 2 million hits on YouTube and shit. You know, it's a good sign. So that situation was a blessing in disguise, but it's definitely something that works for sure.
Well, one of the things I hear from a lot of producers, especially a lot of MCs, is the question of how do I get put on? How often in an event like this, a showcase, sort of a display of people's music, do you hear something that you say, wow, this person needs to be heard, or I can do something to assist them? How often do you hear an artist that you say,
all the time,
wow, I can help this person out?
Well, often, very often. But with me, you know, there's only so much I can do. You know, making this event really created an outlet for myself because I'm just the type of guy to, you know, if you're talented in the arts, whether it's creating beats or something else, you know, I'm just naturally the type of guy to want to help you, you know, in whatever way I can. But with the way the industry is built and the way the business functions, you know, I can't just like, you know, take producer, you know, No Name, take his music and go to a major and be like, yo, listen to this. Like, you know, shit doesn't really work that way, you know. So
hello. Illmind fans.
Shouts, Illmind fans.
Small
right
shorts.
But you know, it doesn't work that way. So, you know, I hear there's a lot of talent out there, and there's you know, on the flip side, there's a lot of garbage. But my one real piece of advice for upcoming producers is to create your world around yourself. Like you can't consistently think about oh, I wish I was here, or I wish I was this big. Like, you can't do that. You know, if you're an upcoming producer, you gotta start somewhere. You know what I mean? Get with local artists, work with them. You know what I mean? Go to the producer events, come to Blab, do some networking. You know what I mean? Like, just get to know people. It's a fucking people industry. If you don't know how to talk to people and you don't know how to interact and become personable with someone, you're never gonna make it. And you could have the greatest fucking manager in the world. You could have all the fucking A&R contacts in the industry, and regardless of how hot your beats are, you're not gonna get to where you want to be. You have to be proactive. You have to get to know people, and that's really what it boils down to, man. Like, you know, 90% of my placements were because of people I knew. You know, so.
Right.
That's what it's
and if Illmind was not a producer, he would be.
I'd be a fucking astronaut. Yo.
Wow.
Shout out to Michio Kaku, yo. I'm a astronaut science fiend, yo.
There we
That's
go.
my shit.
And how can people stay in touch with you? How can they follow what you're doing?
Hit me up on Twitter, twitter.com/illmindproducer. Hit me up on myspace.com/illmind.
And Facebook. We're Facebook friends. We are Facebook friends.
We are buddies on Facebook. We're like best friends on Facebook.
I poke him all the time. No homo.
He pokes me all the time. No
Pause,
homo.
no homo,
But
whatever.
Facebook.com/therealillmind, and then you could catch me on my site at illmind.biz, illmind.biz. That's where I'm at.
And there it is. And definitely check for Blap every
other Thursday, twice a month. That's how we do it.
There you go. And New York at
Forbidden City. Shout to Forbidden City, New York. You know what I'm saying? Avenue A, all day. Let's go. Black
and
Boys.
coming soon to San Francisco and Portland, Oregon. A special thanks to Illmind, Camel, and Red Bull. Thank you very much, Illmind. Definitely appreciate it.
Let's do it, man.
Absolutely. You'll be seeing him in Portland very soon.
Oregon, let's go.